All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Mastering Marketing with Ben Sturdivant. I'm the COO and CMO, Chief Operating and Chief Marketing Officer with Elite CEOs. And we are here every Tuesday, Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm coming to you from Santa Rosa, California. If you don't know who I am, it's great to meet you, great to connect with you. Welcome. We're streaming this into multiple groups. We're, I believe, in the Mastermind, into our Elite CEOs group and also the Elite 360 group. So we've got people coming from lots of different areas. So if you have questions, feel free to type them in down below. I've got all of those funneling into one chat area so I can answer some questions. If you're new to Mastering Marketing, so these are designed to be short little snippets of good information to help you grow your business, help you become a better marketer. Obviously, close more sales. So today, what we're going to be talking about is the perfect VSL. How to structure your VSL video. VSL stands for Video Sales Letter. I'm not going to be talking as much about the page, although I will show you an example at the end of how we kind of tie it all together. Really, what I'm talking about is the video and how to structure it. I've talked about this before in other trainings, but I like to come back to this over and over again because this is a really, really important part of your marketing funnel. Your marketing funnel is the process that you're sending your leads through in order to make a decision to whether or not they're going to work with you. Okay, and this is the customer acquisition roadmap. For if you've been on these before, you've seen me reference it. If you haven't, you really want to get an idea or a good understanding of what this is and how it works. So basically, these are kind of the decision stages that people go through before they decide to work with you, right? So here over on the left, you have your customers where they are now, and then over on the right, where they want to be. Right. And it could be making more money. It could be weight loss. For us, it's obviously, business owners want to make more money. So this is typically ours. The attraction stage is getting people's attention, right? Getting them to say, hey, to recognize you. Getting them to subscribe and engage is them agreeing to look at more information, either from an ad where they're opting into some sort of registration of some kind. They're putting their name, email, phone number in. They're registering for a free masterclass, a course, whatever it may be. The validation stage is where they're starting to do research, starting to learn about you, consuming some of your content. Ascension is where you're adding value and helping them confirm their decision. You're validating their decision. And then of course, you've got your close stage, which is your sales calls and your follow-ups. And then of course, launching is, launching them into your program. So the stage that we're really going to be talking about today is this validation stage. That's what the VSL is designed to do. So if you look at this, this mat or this workflow as we have it, you've attracted them, either through messaging, from an ad, whatever. They've agreed to look at information, and now you want to send them to something that's going to allow them to see who you are, what you can do for them, and obviously that they need to work with you. Okay, to validate why they need to work with you. And ultimately what you're trying to do with your VSL is to do two things. Number one, build trust. You do this by giving content and value, by giving away solid information, tips or training or content or something that they can consume quickly that's going to help them get a win. We do a lot of this with our VSLs in the form of little training or little master classes, right? Just short little 10 to 15 minute videos. And our most popular one for us is sort of walking them through how Tanner built his business from scratch with no social following and obviously built a multiple seven-figure business. And because that appeals to our target market. So our VSL revolves around showing that process. Now, he doesn't get into the detail of how to every little step of the way. He gives a broad overview of it so they can come away with that knowing the exact steps they need to take. Could someone that take that information and go out and solve their problems and accomplish all of their goals? They could, right? But they're going to have to get a lot more information to do that, right? So you're giving good information, actionable information, but you don't necessarily give away the farm. But what this is doing is building trust because they're seeing that you're willing to spend that time, give them value at no cost, okay? Other ways that we do this is in lead magnets like courses. We give away courses for very little money, if not free. And we give a lot of good information away. I talked about that last week on Thursday when I talked about lead magnets. So, but in this specific stage, right? Let's say you've connected with someone on social media, they're a follower, or maybe you've just connected with them in a Facebook group somewhere, and you've struck up a conversation. Yes, they're willing to engage with you, they're willing to subscribe or get additional information. What are you sending them to, right? You're sending them to something that's going to build that trust, but then also to demonstrate that you know what you're talking about so that you can help them get what they want. And this is the most important thing to understand when it comes to creating your VSLs. It's not about you, it's not about what you've done, it's about how you're going to help people and just showing people, illustrating how you're going to do that. So what I've done here is I've basically broken down some steps, and I'm gonna give you the I don't want to call it a script because I hate scripts. I want you to be authentic, and I want you to have a conversation with people when you're doing a video, and I'll talk about some of the specifics of that. But this is sort of the outline of how to build trust and authority. So providing valuable content. Create credibility, trust, and authority. You're going to introduce your offer. You're going to provide a clear call to action, and you're going to provide some sort of automated follow-up. Now, some important metrics that I would recommend starting to evaluate. If you're sending people to your video and you're not getting people to book calls, or they're not engaging with you in Messenger after you've sent them there, there's a disconnect, right? So you need to look at some metrics. Typically, what I look at is our watch rate. We use Vimeo on all of our VSLs. So, if you're using Vimeo, you should be able to look at their metrics. It might be an upgrade, for a little bit of money, but it's valuable because it shows me the drop off. It shows me where people drop off, and it shows me, obviously whether or not people are getting value from the video or they're just bouncing, right? Because that can help you change things up. If there's a specific point in your video where you're constantly losing people, it can give you some good data. So that's the watch rate. You want it above 30% where they're watching all the way through. Apply rate is how many people are applying, obviously, based on that alone. Now, the greater than 10% is a little ambiguous, because if you're just doing strictly organic, I would expect that apply rate to be above 50%. But typically for us, when we're doing cold traffic, when we're running traffic straight to a page where they're opting in, or if we're running to Messenger and for whatever reason they're not engaging, we want to be about 10% or more. Preferably more, obviously. But if you're running paid ads, that's what you want to be. And then, of course, with your email, you want open rate greater than 50%. That first email click rate greater than 30%. Just in that initial email, again, so you're sending people back to that VSL so they can make sure that they watch it. This is important because most people, when they opt into your ad or they're messaging you, they may not be in a place where they can sit down and watch a 15, 20, 30 minute VSL. And, a lot of people ask me, how long should mine be? It could be short. It could be 5 to 10 minutes. It really doesn't matter as long as you're accomplishing the things that we're going to talk about today. Okay. So don't get so hung up. So many people get so hung up on, what do I say? Give me a script. Give me an example of what to say. I'm going to give you some of that, but I want to preface this by saying what really matters is that you have a genuine conversation with people, as if you're talking to them one-on-one. And so many of you guys are really good at this because you do sales calls. You have sales calls with your leads all the time. You know what to say. What you need to do is just get more comfortable having that conversation with a camera. Some specifics, if you're not good on camera, if you don't like the way that you look, you're not comfortable speaking to a camera, I completely understand. What you could do is what I'm doing, right? You could just do like a voiceover VSL where you could use something like Camtasia. It's a little software that I've used before, or ScreenFlow or something like that, where you're just recording your voice. I would recommend getting a solid mic off of Amazon. What do I use? It's a Shure, Shure mic. It provides really good, it's like $100 and something, but it provides really good quality sound. You can hear the way I sound. If I get really close, it gets really, kind of deep. But sound and quality is really important. You don't want to, if you are going to have video, I've got some lights here that, show off my 5 head, and but absolutely lighting is important. If you are going to be on video, the way you sound is important. Your background is important. These are all things that that matter, right? In the quality that you're producing. I would not have your laptop on your lap and it's bouncing around as you're recording. I would recommend not recording from your laptop at all, or your if you have a camera on your computer. I would recommend using, if you have a nice iPhone or a really nice Android, one of the newer ones have really good cameras. I mean, it's better than, like, right now I'm using a DSLR, which is a digital camera that's attached to it's a Canon, an older Canon, but I bet, most of the new iPhones, and Androids, their pixels are so clear, you could record a really good quality video. But again, I would attach a mic to it. Okay. And then you just do a Google search or a Amazon search for, iPhone mic. You can get $20, get a good quality lapel mic that plugs into your iPhone, and you can record good quality, a good quality VSL recording you if you wanted to do video. If you don't know how to create PowerPoints like this is done with Keynote, which is just Mac's version of PowerPoint. You maybe have someone on Fiverr do it for you, right? It's really not that difficult. It's really just because they have templates. If you open up your PowerPoint or Keynote, they have templates. You can just really start with a template, and that's really how I learned how to start building these things. And it's not that they're all that fancy or all that great. It's just it's something that you need to start moving to in order to raise the game with professionalism. Reason being is this is one of the very first opportunities they have to hear from you. Okay. One of the things when I first started working with Tanner back in March of 2019, his funnels and pages didn't look great, but his VSL was pretty good. Like he spent some serious time. He had a really solid. It was the broke trainer versus rich trainer VSL, and it was a nice PowerPoint that he put together. Really based off of the old ClickFunnels webinar funnel, but what it did is it really told the story well, and it was him having a genuine conversation, right? He wasn't reading from a script. He was 100% all in and believed what he was talking about, and that's really the most important thing. So what I would do is you can create an outline, right? And create a structure to kind of bullet the concepts out, and that's definitely something that I'm going to help you with. Okay, so the perfect VSL outline. These are the touch points that you're going to want to hit on. You're going to make a promise. You're going to provide some proof. You're going to touch on pain. You're going to train. You're going to transition, and you're going to give a call to action. Again, this could be a 5 to 10 minute, presentation, or if you need it to take longer, you can. I would be, aware that you start pushing in that 25 to 30 minute range, you start to lose people. You don't need to do the old school webinar model that ClickFunnels put out years ago. You don't need to do that anymore. In fact, people want more upfront. They just want you to tell them what you're going to do for them, how you can help them, okay? But at the same time, you do need to provide some of this information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through some of this. I am going to give you some examples. I'm going to give you a health and fitness example, and then I'm going to give you like a financial investor, money manager kind of an example that would be more kind of a B2B. Okay. Well, that's not true. More B2C. Both are B2C, but you could accomplish what you need, I think, based on these. So basically in the promise, we want to immediately grab their attention with what the big promise of transformation is going to be, right? How you're going to help them achieve what they want. Remember when I showed you on that, on the customer acquisition roadmap, the before state, and then there was the after state, right? You want to be able to illustrate to them how you're going to help them get there. Then we want to make some proof, show them that what you're teaching works with your own story or results or a few case studies. If you don't have any testimonials yet, case studies, that's totally fine. Just tell your story, right? Totally easy to do, okay? The pain is to identify the top 3 main pain points, the reasons that people are struggling trying to achieve their ultimate goal as it relates to the topic. You want to train a little bit, walk them through the 3 simple steps to reach their goal. Again, this is an overview, so you're not going to dig into every specific how-to. Then you're going to transition. This is where you tie in your offer to the training topic and you help them see the big picture. And then you transition to the call or to your call to action, which for most of us is booking a call. So thank you to whomever just popped that on there. But yes, that's the perfect outline script. That's exactly what it is. Okay. So to give you an example, what we technically do is, like in Tanner's VSL, which I'll show you in a second, how to go from 0 to 7 figures, or how we went from 0 to 7 figures in, 12 months kind of a thing. Here's the proof. We show, who we work with, Tanner's results, the pain. We identify the 3 main things that our clients typically struggle with. And then we provide some training on how to overcome those. We transition to saying, okay, now if you want help with this, this is what we can do for you, and how, what our program entails. And if you want to work with us, work with our team, click the link below or book a call. So we'll go over that in a second. But let's talk about some specific examples. So here's a, kind of a healthy eating, weight loss, nutrition type example. So you're going to make some kind of big promise. I'm going to show you how to eat healthy and lose weight without spending a bunch of time and money, or without, giving up your favorite foods, or whatever your big promise is. Guys, I'm not telling you that this is what your promise should be. Let me be very clear with that. I'm obviously not a health and fitness expert. Okay, so you need to pick and identify something that is the main goal of your avatar. I've done past trainings on target market research and really getting to know what your avatar is after. So it's important that you spend some time and identify really what it is that they're after, and not what you think they're after, what it is that they're after. And how do you know what this is? Well, if you've had some customers come through, what's the more common thing that they struggle with? That's the easiest place to look. Spend time with where your avatar is and listen to what they're saying. Spend time reviewing things that your avatar are purchasing on Amazon and Google, and things that they have to say about things they don't like and things they do like. Really get into the mind of the person that you're trying to communicate to, because when they can see that you're addressing their biggest frustration and pain point, or maybe you're addressing their biggest goal, right? For us, it's a lot of the time it's people who are frustrated trying to build their business. They're piecing together bits and pieces of information on YouTube, or maybe they tried a coaching program in the past that told them to do a webinar, and they're just not getting results. They're frustrated. They're ready to give up. We get a lot of that with us, right? So ours is, it's A to Z. It's a step-by-step process. We show you exactly what we've done. We don't hide anything from you, and we're going to give you help to get there, right? So that's the big promise. That's the hook. What you're going to help them do. Then the proof is, just look at what so Jill's has to say about her results following our system. The pain is, there are 3 main reasons people don't eat healthy. They don't know what to buy. They think it's too expensive, or they think it's going to take too much time to prepare. In this training, I'm going to show you how to eat healthy and lose weight without, right? All of, spending a bunch of money or time, whatever. And then, so you're going to train on those 3 pain points, right? You're going to say, people don't know what to buy, right? And they struggle with this, and they get overwhelmed, and they don't, so what you do is you'd give them a solution to that, right? You'd say, here's, what I would recommend that you do to make, shopping easier. So, walk into the store, exactly what to buy. And then number 2 is they think it's too expensive. Here's what you do to maximize your dollar at the store, right? And number 3 is here's what you're going to do to create quick meals. If those were your 3 main pain points, that's what you would do. So now that you've trained, you provided, some good content for, 5 to 10 minutes, you've helped them understand, get the big picture, and maybe even be able to get a win out of that. Now you transition. Now, if you're on a weight loss journey, healthy eating is only part of the process. And then you start transitioning in your big picture offer, which typically, if you're in the health and fitness space, is, there's a nutrition component. There's also probably a fitness component, right? Exercise, and nutrition go together, but maybe also a mindset component. So now you start structuring in order to really achieve this, you need to do this, this, and this, and this. And this can be really hard to try to do all by yourself. But thankfully, we've made this process easier for you. And we put it all together in one program, and this is our program, and this is what we do, and look who it's helped. Again, I would bring back in some credibility and proof and sort of highlight your client success or your own personal story again. And then a call to action obviously is, so if you'd like to speed up your results or make this process easier, we'd love to work with you. Click the button below, schedule a call. Again, set the tone. Look, I would say something like, like we don't work with just anybody. We're looking for people who really want to make a change and really are committed to that, right? So if you're serious, schedule a call, and someone from our team will be connecting with you. Or if it's you taking calls, you look forward to speaking with them, something like that. So in the financial investing space, and this could be marketing, obviously, you could do this with anything. So let's say the promise is, I'm going to show you how to speed up your retirement without wasting a bunch of money. Just look at what Jill has to say about her results flowing in our system. There's three main reasons people don't invest properly. They don't know what to do. They think they have to have a ton of money. They think it takes too much time. So again, now you train, right? And you highlight that it doesn't have to be that way. And here's how you can get around it. You don't give every specific detail of that. You train on the concept and then transition. Same way as before, speeding up your results. This is what we do. We help people. We work with you so that you don't have to fumble around and get frustrated and lose a bunch of money. Hit those pain points again, right? And let them know that you have the solution to that and show them that solution, okay? So I'm not gonna go to questions, obviously, because we don't have time for that, but I do wanna show you our VSL, right? So what you'll see is this is the page. So I'm not gonna get into the video, but this is Tanner's video, and it's 20 minutes long, and it's how to reach 6 and 7 figures with our proven system, right? And this is because this is the main goal of a lot of our clients, and he goes through it. There, you saw the proof, right? So that's our hook, right? Now he's highlighting some of our clients, and then he's kind of identifying the pain points, and then he gets into, see, the problems and solution. If you've been on any of my trainings before, you've heard of the problems to solutions grid. That's where that comes from, right? He's going through them. This is the training now. He's going through the content. That should be a bulk of your VSL. We're providing value, right? So he's going through them, going through the frustration. There's his call to action, right? I mean, that literally is the entire thing I just walked you through. That's what our VSL is, okay? It's what most good VSLs are. Now, let's talk a little bit about transitioning that and putting on the page, because this is where a lot of people get hung up. They think they need to be an awesome graphic designer. Has nothing to do with that, okay? You can go out to Fiverr, spend $10, get a really good, cool image mock-up if that's what you really want. But they get so hung up with the content. Here's what I'd recommend. Take your video to rev.com, rev.com, have it transcribed. Now, I'm not gonna say you put it word for word on your page, but there's your copy, okay? Typically, people are much better speakers than they are writers. So if you don't know what to say or what to write on your page, put it on paper with your with a transcription, and then just pull out what are the big nuggets. And if you go through our page, right, you've got hook, right? Here's what the training's about. Here's how we're going to help you, right? We highlight our big things here. We tell the story. We provide the proof, right? That's Tanner's story. We tell people, what our program is. This is all stuff that he's really just highlighting in the training, but we're just walking through it on paper, right? Our value stack is here. I would recommend this, where, it breaks down what we do for people, how we help them, right? So it's all the components of our mastermind, and it's what it's going to do for them, right? How it's going to help them improve their life and their business faster, credibility, proof, right? All that stuff is super important. And once they book a call, we have a lot of that same information on that confirmation page. I'm not going to get into that today, but that's important too, right? So carry that over. But that's really it, guys. I mean, that's your VSL. It should be powerful, right? It should be something that can really provide some value, but at the same time, educate people on what it is that you offer. If you want to know, there's an easy way to do this. If you're trying to record your video or like your PowerPoint presentation, and you're trying to do it in one take and it's not perfect and it's super frustrating to you, there's a software that I have used for years, Camtasia. It's Camtasia Studio from TechSmith. And I think this is it right here. Where is it? There. I'll just go to this. I think this is it. So it's Camtasia, but basically it allows you to edit video really easily. So what you could do is you could just record a little snippet, right? And then if you want to pause, you can, and then you can, it makes it very easy to work with editing video. Very easy, right? If you can, surf around on the web, or, do some slight little editing, you'll be fine with something like this. But it's super easy to use, and I would definitely recommend it, right? So it's a screen recorder and video editor. It's a little expensive. If you have better solutions out there, like I think Tanner likes ScreenFlow or Screencast or whatever it's called, that's kind of the Mac version, but these guys have a Mac. I've used it for years, and it allows, you can do all kinds of cool things with it. Some pretty powerful stuff to make some good looking videos without having to be without having to use like Adobe Premiere or something that's really intimidating. So definitely something I would recommend to produce good videos. If you're not the best when it comes to, video editing, but it does have an impact. Okay. So I went a little bit longer today than I wanted to, but hopefully this information is helpful to you guys. I appreciate you spending some time with me. If you do have questions, type them in below the video, and either myself or somebody else will get back to you with a response. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.